Other people said, "Are you crazy? I would love to have a chance like this." I said, "No, it's not for me." I followed my medical profession and, finishing my studies and then becoming an internist. Oncology, wanted me immunology, and this was my boss at that time was E. Donald Thomas, and he became recipient of the Nobel Prize of Medicine in, I guess, 1990 or so.
And so you were in your medical education at that time?
Yes,
yeah.
Always. I've never thought of being a professional sailor. Mm-hmm. Never, ever. They asked me if I wanted to do full-time, and I said no. Mm-hmm. And, good decision.
Yeah.
It's a good decision. Other people said, "Are you crazy? I would love to have a chance like this." I said, "No, it's not for me." So I followed my medical profession and, finishing my studies and then becoming an internist. Oncology, immunology, this was my special field. And then I went from the Kiel University to Seattle, and then I learned bone marrow transplantation. This is a treatment of leukemia and aplastic anemia and this kind of diseases. Pretty grim stuff. And my goal was to prevent a complication of bone marrow transplantation from happening. Now, this is technical stuff. I'm not going to go into detail, but this is what they in Seattle wanted me to do. And my boss at that time was E. Donald Thomas, and he became recipient of the Nobel Prize of Medicine in, I guess, 1990 or so. Anyway, after 3 or 4 years, my wife was very determined to go back home, and so we did. And then I went to the Kiel University, founded the unit of bone marrow transplantation over there, but from experiences that I've made during my time in Seattle, by meeting a quantum physicist by the name of Friedrich Capra, I had made internally the decision already that I wouldn't follow this university career anymore and go my own path. And after a year and a half or something, back at Kiel University, after a year and a half, I quit there and I opened my own office as a family doctor. Quite a change.
Yeah.
And again, many people said, "You are crazy. How can you do this? I mean, the red carpet is in front of you and you refuse to walk it." I said, "Yes, I refuse to walk it. I'm not going to do this for the rest of my life." And then I looked at some kind of medicine that would allow me to widen my perspective on health and disease. And this I learned through learning techniques, diagnostic and therapeutic techniques that natural cures offer. And this is, I started as a normal doctor with normal university training. I started with something that made sense first place. I started with what's entering this opening must have an effect on our health, or on the question, are we staying healthy or are we getting sick? This was pretty obvious and logical for me, and it was an easy approach. And this is, of course, a very, very important part of natural cures. What do I allow inside? And so this was my entrance, if you wish, to natural cures. And then I did acupuncture, and I do something that's called neurotherapy, neural therapy. I don't know what the exact translation would be in English, but neurotherapy. This is with local anesthetics. A very, very powerful
and acupuncture is very
technique.
powerful too.
Very powerful, and many other techniques. I'm doing a lot with bioidentical hormonal supplementation, you know, that kind of thing. So always in an attempt to bring life back to a good balance, because everything is a question of balance. I mean, we can't only breathe in and we can't only breathe out. We have to do both in a good balance, and so forth. Sleeping, being awake, being hungry, being fed, you know, everything has to be in a good balance. So this I then learned, and I became a trainer and somebody who took other people's examens, and I was an expert at court, law court, what do we call them? Court, yeah.
Yeah, court.
Yeah, court, yeah, okay. So I was an expert at courts in natural cures, and so and I'm giving training in the chambers of medicine in Hamburg and northern Germany on natural cures. So then I decided that there is something behind what I knew when I learned natural cures. And this was something that's going on between our ears, and this is mindset. The mindset is determining to a pretty large degree what kind of health or disease we are experiencing. This is what I learned during my training as a GP. And then through my connections to the United States, there the industry of mind training, mindset training, mind power training, you know, there are different words for the same thing. I easily got into contact with very influential people. And my first teacher was Bob Proctor. And first I was kind of reluctant, you know, seeing what's happening, and I followed a sequence of daily videos that he provided us for a small amount of money, and this was called 6 Minutes to Success. This was 6.
My name is Dr. Wulff, a leading expert in mindset transformation and personal success. By joining me, you will unlock proven strategies to elevate your mindset and transform your life. Explore more in the video description.